Okay, so let's see what this Tuesday page has in store for us. It looks like we've got a number written in expanded form. So the way that you need to do this is you're going to need to create a place value chart and then drop all these numbers in the place value chart and then add them all together. See, it's one big adding problem. So all you have to do is line it all up and then add them. You can line them all up on a piece of notebook paper that's been turned sideways. That's the easiest way to do it. So starting with the 200, and then the 30, and then the 5, and then the 0.1. Well, that's 0.1, right? Because these are your whole numbers and these are your parts. Then 0.08, then 0.005. Then you turn this into one big adding problem, okay? And you're going to, if you need to, you can fill in all of these empty spots with zeros if you need to, or you can just simply add each column, and whatever you get down here is your answer, okay? All right, number 2. What equation does this model represent? Equation, that's a math problem. Do you see the same thing over and over again? Okay, well, when you see the same thing over and over again, that's multiplying. So what fraction is this? This is a fraction model. It's 1, 2, 3 out of 4. And then how many times do you see that? You see it this many times. So here's your fraction times how many times do you see it, equals, and then tell me what your answer is. Okay, when you put them all together, what is your answer? So you can either work this as a multiplying fractions problem, which means make your whole number into a fraction, right? And then multiply straight across and then simplify your answer. Or you can use the model that's provided and you can simply take these pieces and start filling them in, yes? And you just start moving your pieces over to try to make holes, as many holes as you can. Okay, so we've used all 3 of those pieces. I just filled them in there. So that gives me 1, 2, 3 holes and some parts left over as my answer, okay? All right, let's move on and look at number 3. Shade the model and use it to solve this math problem. Here is a prime example as to why you want to post this worksheet into your student account so that you can use the paintbrush tools and you can actually draw on this model and not have to draw this. You do not want to have to draw this out by hand. Okay, so if you don't have these worksheets at home, you need to copy and paste it into your student Class Dojo account, and then you can use the paintbrush tools and you can actually draw on it. All right, here we go. We need to shade. If you'll remember how we did this in class, we shaded with 2 different color highlighters. Well, if you're doing this on a screen, you can highlight with your editing tools or that paintbrush tool. Otherwise, if you're at home and you've got the actual worksheet, you can highlight with 2 different colors. You can do one with crayons. Crayons would be the easiest way to do this. Okay, so we need to shade 2.2 going this way. So 2 holes and 2/10. So very carefully, you're going to shade 2 holes. Let's see, we're going this way, yes? So 2 holes. There's 1 hole. And there's another hole. And then 2/10. A 10th is a row, yes? So that'd be 1 row and another row, okay? So now we've shaded the 2 holes and the 2/10. Now we're going to shade 3 holes and 4/10. So using a different color, I'm going to shade 3 holes, starting in the corner, the same corner. And then 4/10, so that'd be 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, we have to do this all the way down, okay? So we're going to go, so the yellow ones that I did, I'm going to go all the way across with the yellow ones, all the way across. And then the 2/10 all the way across. Okay. Then you're going to do the same thing with the 3/4. So we're shading 3 holes. All the way down. There's my 3 holes. Now I'm shading 4/10 going all the way down. Now, the part that overlapped, the part that turned orange, let me give more light because looking in the video screen, it doesn't look very bright. Okay. Maybe you can see the orange color now. I did pink going down, 3 holes and 4/10 going down. Then I used yellow and I did 2 holes going across and 2/10 going across. The part that overlaps is my answer. So let's count what I have. The part that is orange. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes so far. Because I have this hole, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So I've got 6 holes. But then I've got all of these tenths. And I know that I can probably put some of those tenths together to make another hole. So if I've got 10 of them, right now I've got 6 holes. Okay? Let's count and see how many more hole blocks we can create. If I can count 10 tenths, I've got another hole. So 1, 2, 3, that's 4. 5, 6, 7, that's 8. 9, 10. I've already got another hole, so this becomes 7 holes. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4/10 left over. And then I've got these hundredths. There's not enough there to make another tenth. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths. Okay, so 7 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we were able to put these and those together to make another tenth. Then I had 1, 2, 3, 4/10, that one, that one, that one, and that one. That's another 4/10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hundredths. Multiplying this out using the calculator, see if you're correct. Okay, moving on to this one. It's a volume problem. Our formula is length times width times height. Okay, figure out what your length is on this shape, figure out what your width is and your height. Remember to use bat wings. You trace 3 outside edges that are connected. Okay, 3 outside edges that are connected. So one edge, another edge, and another edge. So like this one, that one, and that one. Or you could go this way, 1, 2, 3. Or you can go this way, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter as long as there's 3 outside edges that you're tracing and they're all 3 touching. Okay, moving on to this one, we've got Gail's monthly salary. Here are the weeks. Here's her gross pay. Here's her deductions. Here's her net pay. Okay, So what does that mean? Gross pay is how much she gets paid from her job. The government takes out federal income tax and state income tax and things like that. So you get paid this, but you have to pay a portion of it back to the government, and then your net pay is what you get after that. So you need to put this in the calculator, take away the deductions, and figure out what your net pay is. You need to do that for each week. Week 2, Gail got paid this much. She had to take away this much to give back to the government. What is her net pay? Do this for all 4 weeks. Then you need to get your totals. What is her gross pay for the month? That would be 4 weeks. Add up all 4 weeks and put the gross pay here. What is her deductions for the month? So add up all 4 weeks worth of deductions, put that total right here. What is her net pay for the month? Add up all 4 weeks worth of net pay and put the total right there. Okay, this is the first step in this problem. The next thing you need to do is you're going to be using what I've circled here. You're going to be using what I've circled to figure out the answers to these 2 problems. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you need to add up her budget, expenses. What does she expect to pay for this month? Add them all up, put your total right here. It should not be more than the net pay. Add up what it actually costed. So when you do a budget each month, you're assuming that your rent is going to be this much, and most of the time your rent stays the same. But let's look at utilities. You're going to assume that your light bill, your electric bill, is going to be $120. But if it's extra hot that month or that week, sometimes your electric bill will change a little bit. So this is what you thought it was going to be, and this is what it actually turned out to be. So your expected expenses go here, and then your actual expenses go here. This is actually what you paid for these things for that month. This is how budgeting works. You take a guess as to how much things are going to cost, and then you write down what they actually cost. Okay, so when you're finished doing this, you can go through and finish these 2 questions. It says, what is the difference? That is subtraction. What is the difference in her expected expenses? That's this one. And her actual expenses? That's this one. So you're going to take these 2 numbers and you're going to find the difference. Then what is the difference in her monthly net pay, which is this one, the month, the whole month? What is this one? The difference between her net pay and her actual expenses. So this is how much she got paid, and this is how much she paid for all of her bills. Okay, so you find the difference between them and put your answer right there. Okay, so that's all of your worksheets for this week. Do good. Give me your pictures. We'll see you in the next video.